Hello, everybody, and welcome to The Bunker. You're with Eddie Pepitone. It is Thursday, May 7th. I had a look, but luckily I have a theme song. Here we go. So, 74,000 people have died now from the coronavirus. And we have Andy Kindler on. Are those two thoughts connected? I think so. Our country has been relegated to this kind of communication, except for the morons, and I mean morons, who are fighting for our constitutional freedom to die. And I have to include Elon Musk in that. We have Andy Kindler on. He's got a debut album coming out. I'm so glad Andy has a debut album coming out. He's a young kid who finally has, and it's called Hence the Humor. So he'll be joining us shortly if he can figure out how to request to join. He opened an Instagram account. There he is. He joined. Okay, Andy, you have to request to join, and then we're going to go like the Dickens. Me and Andy are improv people. Both of us were trained. Both of us were trained in improv skills. And yes, Andy, request to join. I know you're in the house. Request to join. But when Andy requests to join and I have him on the show, when I add him to the show, you're going to see such a chemistry and such a zest for comedy that we don't know. Yes, I know. The daily question, does this person know how to request to join? Andy, where's the button? Okay, Andy, get off again, and then click on again, and then you'll see the button. It's right away. You request to join. Okay. I don't know what to tell you. If Andy does not figure out how to do this, basically, we want you to buy his album. Yes, Andy, log off, then back in, and then request to join. But if Andy doesn't figure this out, Andy wants you to buy his new album. It's called Hence the Humor. And you should really do that. Let's go to some stats about today and some interesting... Yeah, so $74,000 are... 74,000 people are dead. Isn't that... What I just did is a capitalism... is a capitalism Freudian slip. $74,000 instead of 74,000 people. Except that might be over. People are worth about $1 in this system. Let's see. So some of the news. Yeah, virus outbreaks at slaughterhouses. More people, I believe, are turning to Beyond Meat and Impossible Burgers. I certainly hope so. My friend Mike Rotman said, do I need to run over to Andy's and click on his phone? So, yes, please, if you're not a vegan, you must be thinking about it at this point. Seriously, if you're not a vegan, really, what are you waiting for? Okay, so, and also the morons are talking about conspiracies about Anthony Fauci. They are spreading a bullshit video called Pandemic, right? Oh, I think we have Andy. I think Andy's requested to join. Let's see. No, he has not. Oh, okay. I'm going to ask you, go live. I'm adding Andy myself. We're connecting with, there he is.
Yes, I couldn't get it on my laptop.
Oh my God, Andy, it is so good to see you.
Wait a second.
Oh, you're moving around. Oh,
You want a
you're closing
bookcase?
that off?
No bookcase.
Well,
Bookcase?
I think
No bookcase.
bookcase is better.
Yeah. I couldn't find,
By the
I
way,
wanted to
those
have Mein Kampf there is what I wanted to have. Do you have Mein
now,
Kampf,
do
right?
you see? I have Mein Kampf.
Yeah,
I
you
have
have it, right?
Mein Kampf. I have Mein
Yours
Kampf.
is even, yeah. You have more grievances than Hitler.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Hitler, by the way, was a great painter. You know that, right? I mean,
You know,
do
he
you
actually
cover
was.
this?
This is actually, a lot of times you'll say something and we'll find out later it wasn't true. But in this case, this is true, though, Andy. This is exactly true. Joseph
Right.
Goebbels actually had an extensive knowledge of modern art, and I wish that wasn't true. He had
Is that
decent
right?
taste.
Eddie,
Goebbels.
well, just because you're exterminating 6 million doesn't mean you can't know what a beautiful piece of art is. Oh, there we go. Yeah, okay, you're back. You're back,
What
Andy.
is this with the stop and start? It's 2020. What's with the stop and the start and
Yeah.
the freeze and the... This doesn't happen over at
Um,
Shapeshifter.
by the way, by the way, isn't the technology great? Me and you were about the same age, which is we're being ready to launch. We're going to be launched very soon. I
Yes.
myself gave myself till I was 80 in this business. Then I'm going to teach.
Yeah.
I don't know what your
I'm going to
plan is.
85,
85.
and if my manager is still alive, I'm going to fire him. Or I'm going to march right down to assisted living and give him his walking papers.
Andy,
Look at you. Look at us, finally, back together again.
I
Like
know.
a totem pole.
You look great, by the way. This pandemic
Yes, it does.
is kind of doing you
It's made me
good.
it's made me very horny. Is that wrong?
Very,
Horny.
very. Todd Glass is in the house, by the way. Todd Glass is with us today.
I love Todd Glass. I am a big fan of his.
Tell us about your new album, Hence the Humor,
Oh,
my
come
friend.
on. Cut the crap. What do you think? By the way, when I told, we had a fight, we made up, and it was, I take a lot of blame for it, but when I was reading to Susan, she didn't know that we had a fight. So I'm reading to her that you go, you're too smart to be a moron. And she goes, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. But you know what I learned through therapy is that
Yes.
I love my father. He's no longer here. He's gone. But he made me feel stupid when I was a kid. So if anybody says moron, all of a sudden you become my father. But you're not my father in real life. Because you don't have sex with your father, right?
You know, already it's turned Freudian. You're great with different types of mental agility, whether it's Jungian, Freudian,
Right.
Karen Horning. By the way, have you heard of R.D.
Armstrong, Karen Armstrong.
No, Karen Armstrong was a
Who's
bodybuilder.
Karen Horning? Is that Paul Horning's wife?
Nobody.
This is what you were hoping for, Eddie, right? Bing, bang, bing, bang, bing, bang, bang.
We're both from a vaudevillian tradition. Me and Andy have spent many hours together in small theaters, just watching early Laurel and Hardy outtakes, and we know what's
We have
what.
a different eye when we're looking at it. We're like Pat McCormick, but more sensitive.
Pat McCormick, he was kind of funny in an old school way.
I loved him when he went on Howard Stern and got all upset. That I used to love him.
He did? What did he get upset about?
Uh, just that Howard would make fun of him, and he would just go screaming, "You're not the genius of me." I used to like the parts of when Howard was married and he would talk to his wife years ago. That was fun. Now that's fun.
Boy, you refer to him as Howard. Have you been on a Stern show? You must have been.
I tried to. I didn't go on. I didn't get on.
You did not get on? I never got on. I was
Gary
never
Dell'Abate never greenlit me.
Hey, are you going to do JFL on Instagram this year? I mean, just for laughs. I mean, now you know how to work it. Are you going?
Oh, I hope by this. Yeah, I think they're doing it in the fall or something. I'm sure everything, as you say, Eddie, everything is looking up. Let's turn our frowns upside down. We got this. We got this.
We got this. You know what I heard today, and this is not good news. I heard this through CNBC or CNBC. They said the virus has now mutated into a more contagious virus. And that could be a really bad, like it's mutating. You know, the virus is mutating because the virus that is now in the United States is a more contagious version of the one that started in Wuhan, you know?
And I'll give people an example.
Wondering.
Yeah, I'll give you an example of what that means. If you don't, it's like if you had Rich Little and then all of a sudden James Adomian took over, he would be much more powerful. If that's a metaphor, it's not Rich Little where everything sounds like Johnny Carson. It's James Adomian, and he's coming at you every way.
He's coming at you every way, yeah. That's a great metaphor for people who understand. I would have used Vaughn Meter.
Yeah.
And then James Adomian.
You would, because you'd want to one-up me with the historical. You used to come out with a rolled newspaper in your hands, right? Like Lord Saul style. And you used to come out and go, did someone leave this in the green room?
Did someone leave it in the green room and then open it and go, okay, so what do we have? You know, I read the New York Post when I was in New York. Let's see, what do we have? Oh, someone shot dead on a subway. What's up with that?
Hey, you people remember Bernard Goetz? Yeah.
Oh, my God.
He was a horrible man. Think about it.
Bernard Goetz. By the way, I would always, you know, when I lived in New York, I know you lived in New York, and I would
I'm
always
from New York.
I know you are. I know you are. Queens, right?
Yes, I'm from Queens, which used to be embarrassing, but not horrific. Now it's Trump. Trump's there. People ask me if I know Trump. I grew up
Queens. Oh, that's right. He grew up in Queens, huh?
Well, ostensibly, I don't know why I'm hitting everything. My wife claims that I hit everything like it's a punchline, but I haven't said anything funny in about a half a year. And then I yell at her, "What's wrong with that, honey? We're low on mayo."
Hey, you know, one great thing about the pandemic is that Jerry Seinfeld has a new special out.
I hear that this special is horrible. And
I hope so. I hope so. I mean, I can't imagine that it wouldn't be horrible. You know what I mean, Andy?
Well, I've turned around on him. I used to love
the
show
serious?
Seinfeld. I used to love the show Seinfeld.
Well,
and
me too.
He's a funny guy, but he's got that I went to a Scientology workshop for a day and now I've got it figured out. Kind of like he has it figured out.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I thought the reason why the Seinfeld show was good was because he had a great ensemble cast around him.
Can you say ensemble again?
Look, I believe I was in an improv group called Mixed Nuts for 30 plus years.
I'm Cashew. I'm Filbert. I'm Walter. You think he's going to say walnut?
Absolutely. And what was great about that little bit that Andy just did, let me just address the audience right now, is that he didn't use peanut. And peanut would have been so hack. Good for you.
I agree. Yes. And I didn't use peanut, as you just pointed out. Yes, and.
I'm so glad. Yeah, and again, what Andy is doing right now is just a great improv tradition of yes-anding me. And
did Red Skelton leave you that hat in his will? Or was that
I was waiting. You know, it took you It
I
took
know.
you 15
I'm
minutes
not
to
feeling
comment
well.
on
I'm
the
not
hat.
feeling well, Eddie. I must not be feeling well.
One of the signs of COVID is Andy not recognizing what type of hat. Hey,
Well,
can you go ahead?
yeah. No, I had nothing.
What?
Go.
Oh,
Oh, I was going to say that I have a friend who has myasthenia gravis, which is a muscle disease, and sometimes you can't make facial expressions; they're
ooh.
blank. What are the odds that half the people who've been coming to my show for all these years suffered from myasthenia gravis? Maybe I
Now,
was killing.
if you like if you like comedy, then you're
Oh, my
gonna
new album,
like.
right?
If you like comedy, you're gonna love Andy's new album with bits such as that. Andy,
No, that's not on there. I have
now
only
so far,
more accessible bits are on there. Like, what's the deal with dealing cards? Who's the genius who came up with the idea of calling someone a genius? I'm sorry.
by the way, Andy, even though you're frozen right now, I hope you're hearing me. Um, I want you. What would if Jay Leno? I'm going to pimp you out now. If Jay Leno were still doing the Tonight Show monologue, what would he be saying about the quarantine and the
Here's
virus?
something with the quarantine. Here's something now. Here's something in medical news. Yeah, President Trump was talking about this hydroxychloroquine. Not something Michael Jackson. Do you know that Leno?
Yeah.
The Leno is very much like the virus because the virus needs a host, right? And then it, like he did with the Tonight Show, he gets in there and then he destroys the whole thing.
So good, so good.
So
And if
good.
you really
And it's
like this,
current
by the way,
stuff.
let's let everyone in on a little secret, Andy, that this show has been scripted up to this point. We've been writing this for quite a while, right?
Right.
No, it's been
No, 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 no,
scripted
no,
up.
no, no. Now you say we're going to do a song. Now you didn't say we're going to do a song.
We're going to do a song. I'll start. Go ahead, Andy. It's like the virus is here.
The
It
virus
ain't.
is queer.
By the way, one thing
1983, we'd be killing.
the virus is queer and it's here to stay. The virus is dear and it's here, Miss May. That's really bad.
No, but you know what though? You have, since you're dressed like someone from Oliver Twist, it does. I couldn't think of that. I couldn't
That
think of
was
what I was
good.
going for.
Look,
Hey,
you're.
where's Fagin?
Tell us about your new album.
All right, this has taken a long time. And you know, when anybody who's seen you in a club, anybody who's seen you do your thing, comes away going, I'd like to see that guy interviewing somebody. That's what I'd like to see. Just asking straight questions to another fellow about his new project. That's where I think Eddie is going to shine because he's so likable.
I am though. I
No,
am
you
though.
are. You are. The truth
People.
is, you got it. I wish I had it. You started late, true, but you caught up, baby.
I love. You used to say that to me all the
That's the
time
first
when
thing
I
I
first
said to
came.
you, right?
Yeah, when I first came to LA, you were like, "So you started late."
So rude. And meanwhile, I was 50 at the time. Right?
But you put me in a pilot where I was screaming at
so funny.
the stars on Hollywood Boulevard, right? What was that? I forgot.
I don't want to say I discovered you, but
Yeah.
I was one of the first people who wanted to get into the Pepitone business on the West Coast. The West Coast Pepitone business.
That is a very small business.
Right.
But it's a niche business and it's suffering during this.
Well, the Eddie Pepitone, here's the thing. If you're in the Eddie Pepitone business, you don't need to have an actual meeting. You should be Zooming it in. How much new business could there be? All right, what's happening? I can't get him in any clubs. The people at NBC are still angry about his joke about Caroline in the City.
Well, I remember we screened your. By the way, you now are multimedia. I saw your movie. Your movie. Andy plays a jockey in a movie.
That's not the way it goes. Andy, I don't know if people realize that.
Wait a minute.
And I was surprised to find out myself, you are one of the greatest actors I've ever seen in my life. Does it come naturally to you?
I didn't get the revision. You're right. Yeah, so how'd you feel? How was that filming the movie with Paula Lindbergh?
Yes.
How was that? What was the name of the movie?
Josh Elvis Weinstein and I were the leads in the movie. Well, he's the lead, and that's where you say box office boffo.
Box office boffo.
Which obscure Jew will draw more? And I play a failed jock. I play a jockey who was slightly too tall. I had a growth spurt, and I got up to 5'5.5", and I didn't do well. But I played a disgruntled jockey, and my acting was unbelievable.
Yeah,
a lot of this. No can do.
By the way, I don't know if you know it, but you look great on Instagram, and you are playing Instagram like a violin right now. And no, I mean the comments, the amount of people watching.
Well, if there's casting people out there, I did invite some casting people. I invited the people from 4 Chairs in a Window to. I don't know why I said
4 chairs. Is that every agent's office? Like
4 chairs in a window.
When I go into agents' offices, and they always have really nice offices with like these vistas overlooking LA.
Yeah.
Why don't they do anything for me?
That's true. How do you win with that? It's ridiculous. First of all, I don't audition anymore. I mean, seriously, no one's requesting me. Offer only.
Offer only.
Yeah.
Me and you are both alumni of Wizards of Waverly. Weren't you on Wizards of Waverly?
I was Chairman Rudy Tooty Tooty. What was
you were Chairman Rudy Tooty?
Yeah, remember you couldn't talk to me all. I said, don't address me as Chancellor Rudy Tooty Tooty. I'm not. I was like Kaufman on the Kaufman set with Jim Carney. Jim Carrey.
Well, what's interesting is that when you take a role, I know it took you many months to get out of the jockey persona, and you were hanging around Santa Anita watching the horses die.
Well, here's what I did, Eddie.
Mm-hmm.
How can I relate to this jockey character who didn't get as famous as he would have liked to have become, really didn't have a career like others of his generation? How can I relate to it? What's my way in? Failure. Can I relate to failure?
No, you can't, because I would imagine what you had to do was some very heavy-duty acting exercises. I was trained in Manhattan, a little island that is completely elite now, and no one can afford to live there. But I was trained in Manhattan, and I really know acting. And if I had to face a character that had failure, what I would have to do is go into sense memory.
Oh, let's do a repeat exercise. You ready? Angry.
Oh, what?
Repeat.
No, here's a repeat exercise. Ready?
Yeah.
Here we go.
What are we doing?
Hey, Andy. Hey, you're not a good fella.
Anger, rejection, angry. What's the game?
No, you don't even know the game. You don't even know. I thought you were trained. Anyway,
let's do a Harold. Let's do a Harold. I came in with the book and gave it to the library man, and off to you, Harold.
By the way, your bookcase looks great. I just want to say.
Let me see if I have that.
By the way, did you know that Dennis Miller is having a career rebirth right now?
I if this Jerry Sein, I'm hoping like Norman. I think it was Norman Cousins who said you watch comedies. So I'm hoping to watch a bad Seinfeld special to cheer me up, and then I'm
Me too.
hoping to roll it in to to Dennis Miller, because he is amazing. He'll go 2 minutes without an interesting reference even. It's not even an observation. It's just this total. You can smell his comedy more than you can hear it.
Yeah, what happened to Dennis Miller, right? He was kind of a hip dude on SNL, and then he became a right-wing douchebag, yeah?
I know the story. I know how though. What happened
How?
was, and this is a true story.
Yeah.
On 2001, and it's very sad. He
Oh,
was
yeah.
living in Santa Barbara, which is a very rough area.
Oh, it's a
But yes,
blood bucket. It's a
and
blood
his
bucket.
Fiji water delivery was pushed back to the following week. He didn't get his Fiji water delivery, and he was steamed. He was steamed at the others, at brown people. He got mad at brown people for that, and that's it. He
Yeah,
had it.
yeah.
He had it up to here. They had no maraschino cherries over at the Ritz Carlton.
Can you
He's
do
a
your
horrible
Dennis?
person. Let's just say
Can you
that.
do your Dennis Miller? Can you do your Dennis Miller?
Hey, look, it's like Crime and Punishment, Chi. Took a left onto Oscar Wilde. Maybe he's not so wild, and he took a left onto a reference. It's like a reference if a reference came up to some further reference that was even more obscure, and then a word that would make it seem like I'm intelligent. Have you seen Call Your Nest Squatchy?
That was terrific. And now Andy, on his new special, he ends every joke with "Have you seen Koyaanisqatsi?" which is a Native American Indian.
That's very close. I do say this. This is my favorite joke from the 90s, and I couldn't stop doing it. You ever at a party, and maybe it was from the 2000s, you ever at a party, and there's some guy spouting off with his medical, like he's a doctor? Just look at him and go, thank you, Sanjay Gupta. Boom.
By the way, you were on to Sanjay Gupta before anybody. I remember. No, I'm serious. I remember when you were like, I want to just say the name Sanjay Gupta.
Right.
And now Sanjay is a go-to guy during this. What happened with the
I just realized
headphones?
that the thing in my goddamn ear isn't doing anything. I had it originally on the goddamn laptop, right? So I had the laptop hooked up. And I had the laptop, but you can't do it because my laptop's older or whatever. So now I'm on here, and like an idiot, I think I'm getting the audio here, but I'm getting it through the FaceTime.
This is why you were not cast in the Mark Zuckerberg movie, because you don't have the technology.
Do you love the Zuckerberg brother movies, the Zuckerberg brothers? They made some funny movies.
Oh, I think any brother team
Yeah.
is terrific. You know what I mean? I just think that one brother feels this way about a shot, and the other brother says, "No, brother, why don't we do it this way?" And together they're one very smart person.
Wow, that's why you're like get me Bruce Valanche. That's what it's like with you when people hear your ideas. Get me Eddie Pepitone. Hey, this project doesn't feel doomed enough. Get me Eddie Pepitone. Hey,
Hey,
the
so let
mood
me
in
ask
the
you.
room is upbeat. Bring Eddie Pepitone in. And I'm joking about that because what you do
where
is
did
joy. You do. What you do brings me
where
pure joy.
I'll tell you who the best filmmakers are, in my opinion, are the Menendez brothers. Just a terrific little outfit. Am I right?
They were the ones who introduced not looking directly at the serial murderer who's interviewing you. They said, don't look at the serial murderer. Look off to, if you look right down the barrel, people think he's looking at Lyle Menendez. Just look a little bit off to here. Eric Menendez, I thought, was funnier.
Yes. I think Eric Menendez was just one of our funniest serial killers. Um, Andy, what are you doing to stay sane? I'm serious now. What are you doing to stay sane during this?
Well, you
Uh,
said you were serious now, but you still did a kind of a wacky voice after it.
well, I
What are you
can't
doing?
help it. I'm a voice artist, and if it comes out, it comes out.
You know, the thing is, a lot of people are saying, how do we get through this? And I say, how do we get through what? This is one of the greatest experiences. I am so pleasantly surprised by Donald Trump. Yes, I was a little bit concerned going in. But what's there to be upset about? I knew as long as nothing seriously bad happened, we're going to
Is
be okay.
is
And
that
guess what?
amazing?
Guess what? Something seriously bad happened. And we're
Is
not going
that
to be
amazing?
okay.
That's right? Is that
Yeah.
amazing? Is that amazing or karmic that this shit happened
I,
during,
I
the
still can't believe it.
jack off of all jack offs, is now in fucking power while the country needs a real leader. And we have this fucking guy. I mean, we're a banana republic.
Well, like I'll say in my act, Eddie, I'll say that my wife and I, we can't watch him. We'll watch a Dateline where a wife carves up her whole family like a pumpkin just to take the edge off of a Trump speech.
By the way, when did murder become
Become
entertainment?
comforting.
Oh, comforting.
It's like this.
Honey, put on the dentist that killed half of Florida.
Because you can get lost in that story. Probably we're not going to be killed by that dentist.
But what I worry about is another dentist copycatting. Like my dentist, whenever I wake up from anesthesia, my pants have been unbuckled.
That's
And
right.
I'm like, look, Dr. Schwartz, if you want a date, just ask.
You mean your dentist allows you to wear pants?
You see, folks, if you like comedy and you want to hear more stuff like that, don't hit yourself. Don't hit
I
yourself. You're a
spilled
good
coffee on
person.
myself with that joke. Meanwhile, should I stick in the fake headset again? Was that fun?
That was a great.
Someone's head's gonna roll.
So tell us.
What am I reading?
About,
What am I reading? Not, just
I can't
a lot
make
of
it
like
out.
3-ring binders.
Yeah, I don't understand. That's like a file cabinet, not really a bookshelf. Okay.
That's why I say to the crowd now, if a joke goes over because they hate me so much normally, that if I do well, I'm all in their face. If I get a laugh, I shush them like a basketball player would shush the crowd.
Well, the way you handle the crowd is something that all comics look at, and all comics.
People say funny things, but other people, what do, Eddie? They say funny things.
I think kids say the funniest things, and I hope Tiffany Haddish has a long run with that show.
What is that
anyway,
show? Is she saying the darndest things? Bill Cosby hosted that show. You know that, right?
Oh, shit. Hey, whatever happened to Cosby?
He did.
Well, anyway.
I'm blowing the lid off of, hey, Bill Cosby's not the hero you think he was, America.
Hey, Andy, where was your special recorded?
It was recorded at what's the thing on Franklin? Yeah, the UCB. It used to be, but it was recorded in 2013.
No way.
Yes.
No way.
And because of the OCD, and we don't have enough time to go through all my problems, but because of the OCD, I kept delaying it. And so I actually, in the original show, I did future jokes, hoping that so I have a joke like, that's a nice shirt. Where'd you buy that? With Bitcoin. And I also referred to President Boehner. But otherwise, it's from 7 years. Most of it's Y2K material. There's a lot of
Y2K.
bicentennial.
Y2K.
I'm still upset about the bicentennial.
Well, I mean, people may be looking back at those years as the salad days, right? I mean, now we're in this pandemic. I've heard it can last for 36 months. So if you want something to get through this pandemic, please listen to Hence the Humor. Uh, where is that out tomorrow?
You
Where
are,
can
I mean,
people
it's
get it?
almost like I don't want to say your hosting is like a fine-tuned machine. It's almost like it's so seamless. You don't even feel the fact that you're getting just mundane information thrown at you in a desperate way. You desperately trying to save my moribund career. My career that I had still has jokes about how beta is better than VHS.
Well, I feel like it's my job as a host. And I went to, I studied hosting on the Thames River in London,
Oh,
where it was right on the river. And Pierce Morgan helped me.
Pierce?
Um,
Pierce
Pierce
Morgan.
Morgan,
Is that how
remember him?
hard it is for you to do a character that you can't even remember the names of the more common celebrities? Pierce Morgan was there,
What's
and
his name?
Queen
What's his name?
Elizabeth, Queen Elizabeth, Prince Carrie, who's had some his own problems.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Andy, so where can we get your special?
I'm sorry. I
It's so
went with
funny that I'm the one who wants to talk about your special and you don't want to talk about
well,
it at
okay.
all.
It's on AST Records, and the reason why it's on AST Records was because I couldn't find a smaller record label. Could not find a smaller one. Could not
What is
find one smaller. So you can get it right directly there, but you can also get it at Apple and on Spotify.
mm,
And but there's no physical. There will never be a physical. I decided this because of this project. I wanted there to be a physical CD. Now, the last thing I want is to stay after a show and people to be shaking my hand and coughing on me, bringing their germ-filled Bob's
well,
Burger DVD.
let me ask you this. Would you perform this year? Would you seriously perform live this year with
Not yet.
this stuff?
Mm-mm.
So
But I
no,
mean,
right?
no.
I mean, even though you're the king of JFL, I mean, if people don't know, Andy does a state of industry address every year at Just for Laughs Comedy Festival, and I mean, to me, I just love it. I was there for two of them. You actually had me open for you once. I
Oh, that's right.
forget the
You
society that
introduced
hates
me.
Andy Kindler,
Yeah. Would you
something
do a
like that.
gig? Me and you, I'll do this kind of gig. Me and you, they have to fly us in on a private plane, right? With a 6 feet
Hmm.
distance. I don't want you in my face with your Andy. Just read my rom-com, and we'll go. So we know we're socially distanced. I'll do a gig like that for like 10 people, rich people in a living room or whatever it is. You in?
Yes, yes, yes.
No, you're not leaving the house, Eddie. I really don't see you as. I don't see you leaving the house even when the coast is clear.
Hey, Todd Glass said he would perform this year. He doesn't give a shit, was his
Right,
exact words.
right. He only has one heart. How many attacks can he get? I don't know why I said that. That's the kind of joke that's going to make Todd Glass finally say, you know what? My heart attack is not a subject for your humor. Well, then can I make fun of the fact that you're gay?
Ooh. What do you think of Bill Maher? Somebody in the audience asked.
Bill, I'll tell you something. That Bill Maher, that's what I miss. Thank God there's Bill Maher at home. So we can see that his
Bill
hideous.
Maher at home. By the
Yeah,
way, how ridiculous is this shit? I mean, me and you, this is great
this
for
is TV.
people.
This is
No,
TV.
but it's what it is, Andy.
Yeah.
It's what it is. But Bill Maher, Jimmy
Uh,
Kimmel, doing. How about Jimmy Fallon? Is he doing a show from
He
home?
couldn't. He absolutely couldn't. There's not enough. There's not enough positive feedback he could get just alone in his house. Oh no.
Exactly.
Bill Maher is because Bill Maher and everyone agrees with it. He's the worst stand-up comedian. He's never been good as a stand-up comedian. He's literally still saying, "I kid the president." He's never been good. What is he
Yeah.
not good at? Delivering jokes. What should
Yeah.
he not be doing? A talk show. Well, what else does he bring to the table? A hideous personality where he's a bigot. He hates Islamic people.
Yes.
And
Yes.
he's an
And
anti-vaxxer. No, it's okay.
is he an anti-vaxxer?
He is a little bit.
Oh, okay. He's also an asshole about religion. Like if
He's so mean.
if you believe in anything spiritual, he's like, oh well, you're a fucking it. You know what I mean? Like
Where's
that
your
kind
magic underwear or whatever, right? Like,
yeah, like I'll tell you, and this is to the atheists out there. Atheists, here's my thing to the atheists, okay? Tell me something I don't know, okay? Oh, God doesn't exist. What is an atheist church going to be like? Is it going to be women in robes going, you're going to die alone? You're going to die alone? What would, what would an atheist healer be like? Let me put hands on you. What's wrong? Oh, I can't walk. It's going to get worse. You're going to be a burden on your family. I mean, what do they have to offer?
look me straight in the eyes. You are going to die. No. There's no hope. Even if you recover from this one, you're going to die anyway. Because life is meaningless.
I don't like people who wear atheism as a badge.
It's so ridiculous. I used to do a joke where I'd say, to me, when I was growing up, an atheist was someone who was nice. They looked depressed at a picnic. Weren't they? They were nice people.
Depressed as a picnic? Is that you're saying? That's amazing.
Depressed at a picnic.
Oh, right.
What's wrong?
Depressed at a picnic.
Saul, you don't like pastrami? No. What's the point of eating pastrami outside when life is meaningless? Meaningless.
By the way, me and Karen are reading a book about Clyde Bruckman, a gag writer back in the time of Laurel and Hardy.
What's his name?
Clyde Bruckman. He wrote for the Stooges. He wrote a lot. He was a gag writer. He wrote for Laurel and Hardy. Don't you have a fact about the Three Stooges and women?
Yes, I finally figured out why women don't like the Three Stooges. Because they're not funny. That's why they don't like them.
But it's a great book. I know you like. And if you want,
you might like the Stooges, though, right? No,
yeah,
this book sounds great. This book sounds
the book is great. If you like, I want to recommend a couple of books to you and to the audience before we go.
Here comes El Pluggo. El Pluggo Popular.
No. I don't have anything to do with
Carvana. Here comes the Hulu bitch.
By the way, I'm like you. I am the worst at promoting myself. I've gotten a little bit better, and I'm an artist like you are. But we both do comedy because we can't do anything else.
That's true. It's absolutely true.
Right? I mean,
well, I was letting you go, baby. I thought you had your mouth. You had something on the bone there. We're purists. And a purist today means someone who rarely works.
Oh man!
There's nobody I would rather see. Here's what I'd rather see. If I could go to a comedy club and it was you and James Adomian and Todd Glass and then maybe just Todd Barry looking at us disapprovingly. I know I haven't booked any woman on the show. Look, ladies, you think you've suffered? I had to try and get in show business as a Jew, ladies. Think that's easy?
Mel Brooks has a line, without Jews, fags, and gypsies, there is no theater.
Talk about somebody who should update his material a little bit. You got the, what are you? What are we? What is this? All in the Family? I'm sorry. I lost the bit there. It was doing well, though.
All right, Andy. I want to thank you for
I've
coming on.
never met a host in my life who makes you feel like you wanted to get rid of me at the half past the hour, and now you're just dangling me off the hook. Okay, Andy. All right, buddy boy.
Hey, did you notice I changed hats?
I didn't even
You
notice.
didn't. You
You
didn't.
have a
And the
Panama.
reason I did that is to see how, how well you are. Be careful, Andy. Something's going on. If you're not noticing hat changes, you're going to be lost if we go back to the vaudeville circuit.
Oh, look at this. Todd Glass. So funny. We don't need your goddamn sarcasm, Todd. So funny. You're through, Todd. I know. I always wanted to do our whole life. Todd and I are coming up with a bit where we pretend to be angry at each other, and coming up with the best version of that, where you could also call afterwards and go, I was kidding around, right?
Yeah. I want to say one more question, Andy. Do you think opening up society, is it too soon?
You know what?
By the way, you have to do that joke. That's your joke. You have to do that joke. The first time, the virus is over, the vaccine has happened, we have herd immunity. I want you to do that joke, folks.
Yeah. Also, I got to tell you something, in case anybody wants something that's a little bit maybe comes from here. This morning I got up, right? I was feeling bad. No hope. And then I saw there was some cereal, right? And I also had milk, right? And I said to myself, I got this. I got this.
Oh,
We can do this. I'm as good as that, as picking a box of cereal.
ladies and gentlemen, if you like this humor, you're going to love Hence the Humor. Available.
Could you stumble? Please stumble more as you say the name of it, as if it's something disgusting that you want to get out of your mouth. Folks, if you like this, you might like something the goddamn humor. I don't know what he's doing. He's been banging his head against the wall since 1984. Let's
just hope Jerry Seinfeld's special is fucking terrible, which I think it'll be. Let's just hope all of the big guys fall. And it's this fall. Look for Andy Kindler's Hence the Humor.
You're damn right. And you know what, Eddie? We don't need Seinfeld. We've been promoting this for 2 weeks, and we're up to 58 viewers, my friend. We got this. We got this.
These numbers that you see, 58, 56,
56.
they always go down. They always go down. They always go down. But
55.
They're not reflective of the final tally.
People watch it different times, Eddie. They watch it different times.
They watch it different times.
At the ATM, they watch this show a lot.
I'm going to have this posted every time you pump gas. Like you pick up the handle and we hear you.
Oh, that would be, hey, fill up. They have these generic ones because they don't want to pay ASCAP and BMI. And one of them's like, do you like candy? Would you like something to drink? Why not go into the beverage area? And they play some music, like yes,
Andy, I love you, man. Thank you for coming on the show.
I love you, Eddie. And I just want to say that one line I came up with when we were having our brief spat was, I am the tiny dictator of a thin-skinned nation. Put that on my gravestone.
That is a great line. And did you notice I am hatless? That was Andy Kindler, everybody. Thank you, Andy.
Thank
I'm
you,
going to remove you from I love you. All right, Andy Kindler, everybody. And I hope everybody is okay out there. This is going to be a long haul. But we're in it together. So let's stay hopeful. Tomorrow we have Danny Zumadillo, very funny comedian. And we will see you tomorrow. I will see you in the bunker Monday through Friday. You can also get this show on All Things Comedy. You could get the audio of this show. So if you go to All Things Comedy Pep Talks, we save the show. So if you wanted to hear any past episode, you could do that with All Things Comedy. All right, everybody. Thank you.